morning and welcome to Newsfirst Prime Time Sunrise.
It's the 9th of April 2014. It's a brand new day, the second day of the week. We start off this morning's edition of Primetime Sunrise. We start off with a look at your headlines. Family Health Services officials to continue strike action, stating their grievances were not redressed. Minister Newsfirst de Silva says present-day irrigation department faces several practical difficulties. Minister of Agriculture says Walla Patta or agarwood will be cultivated as a crop in future. Senior officials from the EU, Russia and US and Ukraine to meet next week to discuss the worsening situation in Ukraine. Starting off your news this morning, Chairperson of the Government Family Health Services Union, Devika Kodituaku, says the strike action launched by them is still continuing. Now, she noted that although a round of discussions were held last evening with health sector officials, their grievances were not adequately addressed. She spoke to Newsfirst earlier on in the morning.
The strike action staged by the Government Family Health Services is on its 8th day, but health authorities are yet to give us a solution for the burning issues faced by the maternal and child services authorities. This is a disservice to the people of the country. At a time where the maternal and child health service in the country is at an improved state, the midwife service is neglected. If this continues, the strike might pose a threat to the maternal and child care service in the country.
Minister of Irrigation Newsfirst de Silva says that the Department of Irrigation has come to a certain degree of helplessness owing to a number of practical difficulties at the department. The minister made this statement while addressing the AGM of the Engineers Union at the Department of Irrigation yesterday.
The archaic nature of regulations in this country's administrative service can best be seen when we request 235 engineers from our education department. It took the board 2 years to give us 17 engineers. We are trying to make Sri Lanka the miracle of Asia. When the engineers board is walking at snail pace, how can we take forward the Mahindra Chintana? There are a great deal of practical difficulties. So the education department has come to a helpless state.
ප්‍රායෝගික දුර්වලතාවයන් රාශියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසාද වාරිමාර්ග දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව එක්තරා අසරණ තත්ත්වයකට පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Well, there are only 4 more days to go for the dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year, and there appears to be no decrease in the number of accidents despite all the awareness programs that have been taking place. Now, we have with us in our studios this morning the National Coordinator of Training at the Accident Service at the Colombo National Hospital, Pushpa Ramyani. She joins us now. A very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. In comparison with the statistics of previous years, has there been a reduction gradually?
Not very much. If you compare with the previous, it's really not reduced, it's increased 5%. But anyway, I would like to tell you all the statistics what we received previous year. Last year we received more than 726 during 3 days, 13th, 14th and 16th 3 days. And also we admitted 355 casualties. But due to the road traffic accident, we received 157 and home accident 120. And also violence we received 68. Suicidal attempts 5 and also sports injuries 37, and also we treated nearly tractor injuries 3 victims we treated.
All right. Now, the Sinhala and Tamil New Year is a period of celebration and happiness, but it's very unfortunate that accidents of this nature take place. So what we can do is try to attempt to minimize as much as possible the number of accidents that take place. What kind of message can you give the public in order to reduce the number of accidents?
Yeah, actually we can reduce many. As if you think about your main thing is your negligence and attitude, and also please don't alcohol and use alcohol and drink. mainly because of that reasons you will increase many accidents. And also think about to use many, all the safety rules and regulation on the roads, which you have to use helmets and as well as seat belts. And also think about to prevent mainly cracker injuries. Most of the people they are trying to use on their hands. Then if you use on the hands firecrackers, you will get damages lot of things. Sometimes your fingers may be traumatic amputation. Because of that, please don't use on hand. If you want to take to minimize these accidents, you have to take this kind of accidents.
Okay, thank you very much. That was, of course, the National Coordinator of Training at the Accident Service at the Colombo National Hospital, Pushpa Ramyani, joining us early this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, Ramesh Irugal Bandara of Newsfirst has been traveling the world on Around the World in 40 days. We'll be taking a look at that story later on in the morning news bulletin on Primetime Sunrise. But for the moment, Minister of Agriculture Mahindayappa Abewardana says that he intends to develop agarwood, locally known as Walla Patta, as a crop. Now, he made this statement at an event held in Mathura yesterday.
The event was held at the District Secretariat office in Mathura to present the awards to the winners of the Best Household Unit under the Divinaguma scheme.
වල්ලපට්ට වගාව. දැන් ඒකත් අපි රජය වශයෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඒක කෘෂි වගාවක් හැටියට දියුණු කරන්න.
The government intends to expand the production of Walla Patta. We intend to expand it as a crop. Countries like Thailand and India are already doing this with Walla Patta. We intend to develop the crop in this area. The Walla Patta plant grows in the same weather conditions that a rubber plant grows. Can grow this plant legally and there will be no restrictions. There are 18 types of Walla Patta, but out of the 18 varieties, only 2 types can be taken to use. But today, people cut all these plants.
වල්ල පට්ට ශාකේ ශාක වර්ග 18ක් තියෙනවා. මේ 18න් ප්‍රයෝජන ගන්න පුළුවන්කම තියෙන්නේ 2යි.
A media briefing was convened by the Government Surveyors Union yesterday.
Individuals who join newly as surveyors face a large number of issues. We have been waiting from 2009, but a solution for this is yet to be given. That is the reason why we have applied for sick leave and have decided to refrain from engaging in work activities today and tomorrow. We hope to hold discussions with the relevant authorities immediately, and if we don't succeed in doing so, we will resort to an island-wide strike action covering surveyors from all districts in the country refraining from work.
Still in local news, a 69-year-old female was reported dead after being struck by lightning in the Pattuvel area in Galevala. Now the accident occurred at around 5 last evening. Well, Around the World in 40 days is happening right now. Newsfirst Ramesh Irugal Bandara is traveling the world and he joins us now with an update. Well, Ramesh is currently in Perth, Australia. We're trying to get through to him. Newsfirst Ramesh Irugal Bandara, of course, having the time of his life, traveling the world. This is, of course, an initiative that is being done with Newsfirst and, of course, Sri Lanka Youth in view of the conference that will happen in May.
Around the World in 40 days.
A very good afternoon. The Around the World team is joining you from Tokyo, Japan, where a special ceremony.
Well, up next is our segment Crime Watch. was found inside a well in the Doravalo area in Kolpitigama. The deceased's hands and legs were bound, according to the police media unit. The body had been discovered based on investigations carried out on a tip-off. The deceased has been identified as a 55-year-old Vitana Arachilage Gunatilaka, a resident of Hangamua. The body was recovered by the Kolpitigama police last evening after the acting magistrate of Mahava, Siripalak Hapuarachi, arrived at the location. The police has commenced investigations into the incident. Well, on to sports now. After an 18-year-long wait, the victorious Sri Lanka team brought back an ICC trophy, this time the World T20 trophy, to the country yesterday. Now, the team was met by an enthusiastic welcome by fans here in Sri Lanka. The motorcade accompanying the victorious national team left the Bandaranaike airport last evening with thousands of fans lining up on either side of the road to cheer them. Let's take a look back at this historic journey. Well, it appears that Newsfirst Rameshwar Bandara is in Tokyo, Japan at the moment, and let's take a look at what he has to say.
Around the world in 40 days.
A very good afternoon. The Around the World team is joining you from Tokyo, Japan, where a special ceremony was organized by the Sri Lankan Embassy in Japan to raise awareness on the World Conference on Youth that will be held in Colombo from the 6th of May onwards. Now, the Around the World team consists of Newsfirst and Sri Lanka youth delegates who are creating awareness on the World Conference of Youth. Now, during this special event that was held at the Sri Lankan Embassy in Japan, Admiral Vasant Karannagoda, the ambassador, the Sri Lankan ambassador to Japan, attended the event and spoke, highlighting the importance of the youth. During the event, the two national delegates of Japan that will represent the country at the World Conference on Youth were given special badges by the members of the Around the World team. The National Youth Services Council presented them with these badges. The names of the two delegates that will represent Japan at this conference are Taro Yashuhi and Kyoko Yamashita. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ramesh Bandara, reporting from Tokyo, Japan.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Sunrise. We'll see you again at 8:55 with more of the very latest.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.